So we here, we in the building. As soon as I finish this, I'm gonna be putting together the good, bad, and ugly, and we're gonna put that together as well. So stay tuned for it. It should be popping out in the morning. Anyway, real quick, box score, just to let y'all know. Overall, we out yarded them. I guess is the right way to say it. 404 total yards to their 144. To their 144 here. We passed for 205 to their 89, 199 to their 55. We had 25 first downs. They had 8. Let me see here. We had 1 punt. They had 5. We did pretty good in penalties. 5 penalties for 30 yards to their 2 penalties for 10. No one gave up any fumbles. They had 2 interceptions in the building. Let's look at some player stats real quick. I ain't worried about them. Carson Beck was 21 of 28 for 189 in the tub. And then Emory Williams came in for 1 for 2 for 16. Mark Fletcher was the star tonight in the running game for 23 carries, 106 yards, and 3 touchdowns with 4.6 yards. Chris Wheatley-Humphrey, 7 carries, 27 yards. Jordan Lau had 4 carries for 24 yards. Mr. Everything, Malachi Tony had 1 for 13. Gerard Pringle, 3 for 12. And then Shamar Brown, 5 for 9, and so forth. On the receiving end, Tony Johnson, Tony Johnson, 3 for 69 yards. Malachi Tony was 5 for 52. Joshua Moore sighting, 4 for 38. And then y'all can read the rest from there. And then on defense, man, I thought we played pretty stout. Real quick, I'm going to ask you this, 12. What's your one-word response to that game?
It's a compound word. We call it a bounce back. We say bounce back. Compound word, bounce back.
So I just want to make sure what you're referencing. Was it bounce back within the game, or the game itself was a bounce back to Louisville?
Both.
For me, and I know y'all gonna be like, Coach, you hate it, but I'm speaking from a coach's perspective. Slow is my word. Now elaborate. What do you mean bounce back?
Well, we had to, I think both words are good. We had to bounce back. The game was it seemed slow from the offensive perspective, but from a defensive perspective, I think we handled business. I said in the pregame show, this is the game where we have to beat the spread. We have to get to the spread, 30 or better. And initially, it didn't look that way. We got there at halftime. It looked like we weren't gonna get there. And then the defense started to turn it up. The Cardinals started to find out that they really weren't supposed to be there. They had some fluke stuff going on, and the defense actually took over. So for us to have beat them by, I believe, 35, I was pleased. I was pleased. And I was talking to someone, I think we mentioned this. I was like, in the beginning, what is our identity now as a team? We can elaborate later. Well, who are we? I know you're going to talk about slow. Is that who we are? Or are we going to start slow and then turn it on towards the end? Like, who are we as a team? And the reason why that's important is because, I don't want people to say, oh, well, coach is a hater, we're slow, and, you guys always nitpick at things. We have to realize sometimes that could cost us against better teams. And so, for me, it was a bounce back game. 35 points. That's the best game from a defensive perspective I've seen. Only 7, and that came early in the first quarter. So, all in all, I thought they played very, very well.
To your point, I'll say that, we sitting in the stands, and shout out to everybody we had opportunity to meet, man. Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all. I know the weather was a little crappy at the beginning during the tailgate. Shout out to my man X from Canesville in the building, man. Hospitality boy. He had them chicken wings jumping. He got a special recipe, man. And I think they dropped about 5 of them things on the floor. So rest in peace to the chicken wing. But what I'll say is, to your point, expectations can be a mood killer. And my expectations, especially coming off a loss to Louisville, was that we come out, we strike fast, we strike first, and we strike furious. And that didn't happen, right? We give up 7. They go down, they march down the field and so forth. But to your point, I mean, the defense just put the anchor in the ground and it was over. You only gave up 140 yards total offense in a Division I football game. I mean, I'm not mad at all, like not whatsoever. 144 total yards. They didn't even break the century mark passing or rushing. But I believe also our defense gave our offense a spark with the interception, with the Wesley Bissaint interception on the sideline, getting it down to, I want to say, the 2-yard line, somewhere in there. And then with the Lucas interception on the sideline as well. But we've been questioning. We had some questions in regards to defense. But there's always still been some question in regards to our running game. I still personally think it was slow. I still think we're still in that same bag. I didn't think it was very creative, whatever you want to say. We saw a little bit more rotation offensively through our players, but I still think it was super vanilla. Now, for the people that's going to say, well, it was just Stanford, I get that. But like I said earlier, Twill, we got to show some creativity. That don't mean we have to open up everything, but we have to show some creativity. Here's what I'll say for people that like to say, well, we didn't have to show them in the playbook. Well, here's what I'll say. The more you put out there, the more they have to what? They're going to have to try to defend. And you can always come up with more and more play. You can always stack plays. And that is what it is. And we're going to take on the SMU here next week in 5 days, 15 hours, 42 minutes, in no seconds. But that's why I said slow. And that's not something I really want to see, because I think, to your point, that's where we have always been. We've been moving very slow, especially offensively. Next question. Next thing I want to kind of elaborate what you just said. What's our identity? When you look at the Miami Hurricanes, what do you say our identity as? Three questions here. As a team, as an offense, and as a defense. What do you think those identities are?
Yeah, I'm just struggling to kind of figure it out, because we're watching the game and it's tough, because we want to will this team to be a great team, and based off of where we've come from, and it's this is ebbs and flows in the season. Early on in the season, I mean, we were explosive.
Mm-hmm.
Explosive plays in the season, offense, defense making plays, but the offense was explosive. Beck was the new shiny car. He's doing well. We got Tony and everything. As we go on, that shine or that spark doesn't seem to be there anymore. We was just trying to figure out, like, what is going to be the team of, like, who is the leader? Who's the leader on this team? Do we have a leader? Are we leading by is it a collective? Those are the questions that needs to be answered as go throughout the rest of the season, because for me, I don't know what the identity is. We can say it's defense. We can kind of hang it on defense right now. It seems like the defense is going to be that. I think the defense right now was bringing us, probably going to bring us through where we need to be. Last year was the offense, right? Last year the identity was the offense, right? Identity
Explosive.
was QB1, right? He encompassed everything, attitude, X, Y, Z. I'm not seeing that from my offense right now. I mean, you have Fletch. He's doing what he can. He's doing what he can. He's a bruiser. He's going up the middle. But even then, where's the fire? Malachi's trying to do. He's a freshman. Where's the fire? So we need to start to have one. Because if you don't have an identity, then they start to say, "What? You're a fraud." And they threw that name around in previous weeks for Miami. Miami hasn't done this X, Y, Z. Are they the real deal? So we got to make sure we do have an identity, and hopefully we start to cultivate that. When we got 5 games left, give or take, we got SMU on the road. Who is going to show up? What Miami team is going to show up?
Yeah, 100%, man. LMV, what's up, baby? How you doing? C Major, what's up for the 199? Stop running up the dang middle. Play the outside. And I appreciate that, as well as Reggie in the building for the $2. Reggie, thank you again for donating. That shirt is already in the mail to Louetta. So appreciate you, Reggie. Thank you, man. LSU just fired Brian Kelly. We're going to talk about it. I've been seeing that, but we're going to talk about that here in a quick second. They got their own problem. We got ours. So we're going to talk about ours for a second, and then we're going to get to LSU. But I never thought he was a fit for that program anyway. That's just me personally, but I didn't think he was a fit. It takes a certain kind of guy to go into the bayou and make it happen. But, if I have to answer my own question, offensively, I have to say, I don't know. I don't know. Defensively, I have to say, minus the Louisville game, is swarming. I still say we are swarming. We are an aggressive defense. And then as a team overall, when you have two such contrasts, as a team overall, our identity, I'll just say we're solid. I said we're a solid program. Like when you play us, you're going to say, okay, this is what they like to do. They're a solid team. I don't even know if the word solid is an identity, but my mind wants to say methodical because that's another way to try to say slow. But is it methodical? Not necessarily. Like it doesn't fit. So, and I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but I'm just saying, come on, we got to do a little better. I mean,
let me, yeah. This is a great, and this is probably where you're gonna go with this, Coach Jason 257. Tony needs some plays under center immediately. I think that's an excellent statement because to your point, Coach, we're playing slow. You have a absolute ball player, and these are the times where coaches make their adjustments. Is there a package for Malachi to go on the center? We know he can run. We know he can throw. We got to be able to get our playmakers the ball, especially when the offense is moving slow, especially when the offense needs a spark. We need a guy like Malachi to have the ball in his hand. Now, that's where you throw different packages in for him. Wildcat, XYZ. So shout out to you. That's a great point. And we know he's a ball player. And I think someone said Malachi gave us life with those punt returns. He's absolutely right. If it wasn't for Malachi gave us, listen, when that young man has the ball, he never wants to go down. He never wants to go down. For him to be that size, he rarely goes down with the first hit. He's always spinning, he's always moving. So shout out to you, man. That's a really, really, really important statement right there. Cristobal, if you're listening, the people are out here. We need Malachi we need to get him the ball more. Bottom line, jet sweep, get him the ball in his hands. That's a great point, man. I like that right there. Vicious.
Yeah. I'm still on the fence about it. I'm not saying he shouldn't have some packages. I'm still on the fence. I'm gonna tell you what I would like. I'm gonna just tell you what I like.
Hold on. You on the fence about what? Look, come on, because I ain't like that. That sound like, you know what I mean? Like you tried to, like I said, hey coach, I got some rice and peas. No, I got some rice and peas, and you like, I want curry rice. No, you don't say like that to me. Don't do that ever. Don't try me, cause I get off this thing. I walk out, dog. Don't do that. Yeah, I'm clicking. I came from the crib. I'm fired up. Don't do that. Don't say like you don't know what we're talking about.
Hey,
come on,
see
man.
What happened when you let your dog get a beef patty? I took him to get one beef patty, spicy beef patty, flaky, and that boy all the way live. Anyway,
yeah. What don't you like? That's coaching.
I didn't say I don't like it. I didn't say I don't like it. I'm just trying to.
What do you go to press about?
The only way I would like it is if he RPOs it, not straight Wildcat. I think I like it if he has the option because I don't know. As I look at our middle run game, I don't know if he's effective in there because it's not a lot of movement there. But that's something our O-line hasn't gotten a lot of movement. We haven't established the line. But what I will agree with, him and a Jordan Lyle or Mark Fletcher, because he's done this, so he can, and he pulls it. And now that they swarm to him, he can RPO and dump it. He can throw the slant. That's why I said, depending on how it's used. But just to make a blanket statement, and I know not just you, but a lot of people, put him at Wildcat or put him there, I think it has to be very strategic. So that's why I say I'm on the fence, meaning I don't disagree, but I think it has to be done in a particular way where he can truly be effective. I don't like to just put people in a position to say, "Hey, we did it," and so that's what I was really saying.
Okay.
But this is what I was going to say. Do you agree, disagree with that? Or what?
I've tightened up now. You cleaned up. You cleaned up. Yeah, you cleaned up pretty good because now we're getting hot. Huh?
So
Like
like
that.
Nino Brown. Hey,
Like the Scotch
hold on.
bonnet. I was getting hot.
You heard what Nino Brown told C Money? Sit your $5 before I make change. Like you finna walk up
No.
out of here.
Yeah, I'm not saying. No, I see what you. I'm with you. I'm not saying he needs to be the quarterback. No mistake about it. But have a certain, just to kind of switch it up a little bit. I like what you said. Him being at the quarterback, handoff, RPO, just something. Because coach, you always say this: put the ball in your playmaker's hands at any cost. That's what happened to Smith. Why he went to SMU. We want to get him the ball enough. So yeah, someone say don't get the kid hurt. Listen, I don't. That's not the point. I'm not trying to get him hurt, but you can also do things that other teams aren't ready for. They weren't ready for the pass against Louisville. Phenomenal play. We got a 2-point conversion. So start to work him in. He is the best player that you have on the offense. He's your best player, and we can't
Clearly.
argue that he is the best. He is the best player on offense, and he can
Clearly.
play. And you know what I like about him? He's a responsible freshman. You don't get that often. He's very responsible. I watched him, man. I watched him go in there a couple times. He hyping them up. He has a motor. So let's get the ball in his hands more. And especially when the offense is slow, a brother said lethargic is a great word for the offense. We need to have some more continuity. Get the brother the ball. Let him ride.
Yeah, I agree. Now here's what I'm gonna tell you. My second piece. Here's what I would love: a Mark Fletcher, Jordan Lyle backfield, RPO. Ooh, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Now you in real trouble. I'm gonna get real stank. You ready?
Yeah.
Shotgun,
Right. Mm-hmm.
Malachi Tony, Jordan Lyle, Mark Fletcher. Because Malachi can still throw the ball.
Correct.
See, Jordan Lyle, I don't think he can throw like that. So now when I'm here with Mark, I can show a cross buck right there with Jordan Lyle, and then I can pull it. I can do all that, pull it, and still throw the slant to Daniels. I see now we getting creative.
There you go. Now we're talking football.
Now we getting creative. Now you like, to Louisville's point, they got 3 quarterbacks on the field. All right. Well, guess what? We got 3 running backs on the field. How you going to stop the run to the left, the run to the right, the run up the middle, and the RPO? Well, let me get a young MA in there. Ooh. Hey, Cristobal. Man, call me, bro. You got my number, man. It ain't changed since I had the same number since 2000. Man, call me, man. It ain't gonna change. But anyway, I just think that's the deal. Let me ask you this. Carson Beck, does he look or does it feel the same from when he was at Georgia? When you watched him at Georgia, had an opportunity to check him out at Georgia, and now that he's here in Miami, does it look the same, feel the same? Like, does that look like Carson Beck, or does it like another guy with 11 on the jersey?
He don't seem like the same person to me. I don't know if, of course he's there. I don't see that same enthusiasm that I saw at Georgia. Like I said, he was the new shiny thing. He got the money. My thing about Carson Beck is sometimes, it seems like when we're winning, it's all good. You can tell if we're not doing so good. Like what are you gonna do to help your team not be slow? There are times where he can probably run the ball. He tried. He ran it there one time and didn't get the first. But he has to have a spark as a quarterback from a leadership perspective, from his play, and that's one of the differences you saw last year in Cam Ward. We down, but Cam's gonna do something special, a couple plays special to get the troops rallied to put us in position to score and do well. So he looks like a different player. I'm not sure why. The eye test does look different. I just can't put my finger on it, coach.
I think it's a confidence deal. I think he's lost it. I think
Okay.
that um, I think that it's almost like spinning out of control in a car. You know, to everybody else it's spinning real fast, but while you're in it, it's like you're lost. You don't know what do I do next? Do I hit the gas, hit the brake, turn left, right? He doesn't know how to get out of this wet paper bag. And as coaches, this is where you have to help your players. You help your players through your play design. You help your players. You got to build their confidence back up, right? He still made that same throw. He threw that interception of Malachi Tony down the middle. He made that same exact throw, but he overshot him this time, right? Um, we were in the stadium. I'm like 12, bro. This dude still. I mean, just off his back foot launching it. It's like when he panicked, go deep. Um, and I hate to say this, he's got to learn how to eat a sack too. Wait a minute. Oh,
All right, Coach Diddy.
did I go to so I wasn't sure if it was a pause moment or was it a praise moment. But anyway, but he's got to learn how to take a sack. Damn, that ain't. All right, let me try to get. He's got to learn how to get tackled behind the line of scrimmage as the quarterback, and therefore it results in a sack. Got it. So I say all that to say, uh, y'all say big pause. I'm just talking ball. Anyway, he has to learn how to do that, live to see another down. Don't just go through and take those losses. I'll put it there. Um, it's not a good thing, but a sack doesn't always hurt you, right? So I say all that to say he I think situational football is killing him right now. Understanding the situation, understanding where he got to be, understand what he has to do. And I'll say this too. I know it's going to sound crazy to a fan base. And there's a very fine line in what I'm about to say. But he's relying on Malachi too much. And what do I mean? His trust. And I get it. I've said this since I started this show 5 years ago. Quarterbacks are going to throw the ball to the guys that they trust. It's no different than a bar fight. If I'm in a bar fight and I don't know, just pick somebody out here. Shout out to Stick Raw because I know you can take it. Yeah. But anyway, shout out to Stick Raw. We in the bar and a fight break out. I'm not looking for Stick Raw. I'm looking for 12. I'm looking for the guy that I trust to help me. I may know Stick Raw, but I trust 12. And it's the same thing, literally. He trusts 12. You like what I did there? He trusts 12. So when he's in trouble, that's where his eyes go. When that ball comes out, he threw a corner route. I want to say to Malachi one time. Me and
watched
you
him all
said
the way.
he stared him
You
the
watched
whole
him
way
all.
down.
Yeah.
So these are the things that he's got to instill trust, or he has to earn it, or the other guys have to earn his trust, because at the end of the day, he's the one who delivers the ball. You know what I mean? And the gift and the curse is you end up throwing crazy interceptions because he gonna make a play for me. He gonna make a play, and it doesn't always happen that way. You know what I mean? Shout out to LMV. So that's what I
Hey,
say. What you got? Hey man, I
that,
don't even keep
that,
going.
just how kind of crazy. Stick Raw can take it.
My bad, Stick Raw. Yeah, that's your name. I ain't get it. As long as he ain't got a raw stick. As long as he ain't got a raw stick.
Hey, y'all off the chain on Sunday, man. Y'all I ain't messing with y'all, man. It's early in the week. I ain't messing with y'all on here. Y'all too funny. Um,
Hey, hold on. What Stick Raw say?
go back.
Hold on. Did he just say that? Hold on. Am I tripping?
What do you see?
Stick Raw just said, yo, chill, cool. I can bang for you. I don't know what's going on. But anyway, I'm gonna find it. But go ahead, Troy. What's your point? Do you think that's a valid point?
Now I'm gonna push back on you because
All right,
but not push back like I'm going
I
to
get it.
gently tap on me. I'm a
You're gonna
what's the
respond.
what's the difference between this is ahead of my question because you always have a reliable person. What's the difference between what Carson Beck, the chemistry he has with Malachi, and what Cam had with Xavier Estrepo? That's how you build it. So
Okay.
I don't know if I don't know if he relies on him too much. I think he he needs to come back to him. Okay, it depends on what the play is. Because I know that play that we spoke about. I think that read probably was for Malachi, but he has to always he has to move somebody else. If you know Malachi, you come back to Malachi, you got to go some. You got to your eyes got to go somewhere else. I think that's the
Mhm.
problem. I think he stares down Malachi too much. You can know where you're going with the ball. Cam know he's going to Estrepo last year. He know where he's going. He's going to look for somebody else before he gets over to Malachi. So you always have to have your reliable receiver. Um,
Sure.
you know, so I don't know. I don't know if he relies on him too much, but I just think that you have to have that person in your corner. And I mean, I ain't seen Malachi drop anything. I'm not to say he hasn't dropped, but whatever gets thrown to him, he's come up with the big play. So I, I don't know if he relies on them too much. I can't say that from a
When I
quarterback
say
that
rely,
that
so when I say rely, meaning when you're in trouble, I'm not saying that the read
okay,
is there through it. What I'm
okay,
saying when he's in trouble, he just launches it. I don't recall Cam Ward ever just giving jump balls to Xavier Restrepo. I don't recall Cam Ward when he may have tried to force something between 3 or 4 guys, but we're talking about once the defense is barreling down on you, you just like here, you just throw it up. I think that's what I'm talking about when I say relies on instead of just taking the sack and going on about the play and live to see another down.
okay,
That's what I
okay,
mean in regard when I say rely. Not the fact that he gets the most throws, he deserves it.
okay,
I'm
okay.
I'm referring to when I'm in trouble, I'm just throwing Hail Marys full of grace up there and hope 12 come down with the ball. You know what I mean? Um,
Well, they
I,
call him they call him baby
I.e., I would say
call him baby
i.e.
Jesus.
Shedeur Sanders, Travis Hunter.
Right, right.
But the difference is Travis Hunter 6'2", jumping out the gym, you know what I mean, and had phenomenal ball skills, that kind of stuff. But anyway, yeah, that's to that point. Baby Jesus. Yeah. Baby Jesus. He ain't grown yet. Baby Jesus. He's still in the manger. But love saying word. Will, what's up, baby? Good talking with you. Um, apparently I could tell you weren't impressed from the offense. Am I right with that? Am I right?
Yeah. I wasn't. I mean, and it wasn't only me. Even we were in the parking lot. We have our flaws that we're going to have to get better as we try to make these playoffs. And we still do have a legitimate chance as the ACC thing, but we're going to have to get better. Um, we spoke about, as someone mentioned it, running up the middle all the time. We really don't really have a lot of edge plays that's being called. Um, so we have to get better from has Dawson regressed? That's a contention that people are saying. Cam covered up some of the things that with his talents that Dawson made these calls, but Cam was better than the play call. His talent was better than the play call, so he got out of situations. And now when you don't have as talented as a quarterback, mobile as a quarterback as Cam was, now things seem normal. So he has to get better. He has to be a little bit more advantageous when it comes to calling plays and putting personnel in and going from there. We can't throw 6 or 7 bubble screens till often. If it ain't there, it ain't there. We got to go somewhere else.
Yeah. I mean, that bubble screen game. Yeah. One thing I will say, 17 Johnson, I believe, yeah, Tony Johnson. Um, he was blocking on the screen, had his hand outside, and this is what I love. Hand was outside, and it right there, he turns it inside. because the ref was just getting ready to throw that flag, but he took it. See, the ref will give you an opportunity to gather yourself. Just because you put it out there, he's not gonna throw it. But if you leave it out there, he's gonna get you. And Johnson was on his outside, and all of a sudden, boom, he put his hand right up underneath. And I was like, come on, man, that's what we're talking about. That was big right there. I'll make sure I point that out in the good, bad, and ugly. I'll say the same thing. For a Stanford team, I think that's not that good. This should have been a showcase of talent. This was a Power 4 program, I think, that was on the same level of a USF. I think USF beats them, right, if they play them. But I was never worried that we lose the game by no stretch. I knew that we would wear these people down over time. I just didn't like the way it looked in the first half. And I think what bothers me the most, and this is something I've been saying, how does a 42-7 win feel so blah? Like it feels, and I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer. I think why it feels that way is because I know going forward, it's not about this game. If this was a national championship and we played like that, bro, I'd be running through a brick wall right now. But I know we have more games to come just to get there. And with a team that played as they did, we only gave up 140 yards. 12, we getting ready to go get some doggone popcorn and go out here and talk to the folks because we your favorite coach. And 12, your favorite 12. We literally was under 2 minutes and had not scored. Like we getting ready to go in there and we didn't know if we were going to score. To go in half down 7-0 against Stanford. See, what I saw from Stanford is what I wanted to see from Miami. Let me quickly explain. Stanford unloaded the barrel off of that win on Florida State. Man, boom, the win of Florida State magnified. They just didn't have enough. They came to the OK Corral with 2 bullets, right? What I wanted to see was that same energy off of a loss from us. Like, this ain't gonna never happen again, bro. I wanted to come out ablazing. You come with the 6-shooter, we coming with the Tommy gun, lighting them up. And what better way or what better reason should you have done that? And I said this was kind of like the sparring match, a tune-up fight before we go to play SMU. And you in a tune-up fight, you getting ready to fight Mike Tyson, and you over here looking crazy in the first 3 rounds. You see what I'm saying?
Well, you weren't off base because even we would call this. They were booing at one point with the calls in the stadium. They were booing.
Yes,
Dawson. They were booing. Exactly, and we sat by Stanford, and they were happy. They were standing up. They were rocking. Stanford, you thought they were at home, and we booing, and we scratching our head like, what is going on?
Yeah. I mean, we sitting at one time, we sitting right by the little Stanford, probably like the parent section, you know, and they standing up cheering, and I hear the Miami Hurricane fan, and I'm gonna tell y'all something. If you haven't been to a Miami game, please go, because the atmosphere is wonderful, first of all. But the energy in the stadium is way different than watching it in television. I mean, watching on TV. You get to feel the energy. Like you said, we coming off, boo, boo. Like they booing this cat. And that's a difference. Like it feels different. If you haven't been to a game and you're a Miami Hurricane fan, I highly suggest you go to a game. But really quickly, let me look at the first quarter. 9 plays. We end up missing the field goal. 50 yards, 9 plays. Stanford comes back, 12 plays, touchdown. We go 5 plays and punt. That's when the boos started. Stanford, 6 plays and they punt. That's the end of the first quarter. This is all I want people to understand how fast these quarters move. We literally had 14 plays in the first quarter, right? 14. 2 of those 14 were special teams, a punt and a field goal. So we had 12 offensive plays. In the second quarter, we went 11 plays and didn't convert. Didn't convert. Then we go 15 plays, and then we get the touchdown. And then Stanford come back, and then they end the half. So we only had 4 possessions. 4 possessions. I want people to understand how fast this game goes. 4 possessions in 2 quarters. And in the second quarter, I think we just ran, we come out our first touchdown. Then we go that second drive, 4 plays, 3 plays, and then we turn over on downs. Turnover on downs. 3rd and 2, we get no yardage. Mark Fletcher, no yardage. Rush up the middle, 0 yards.